Hey y'all, welcome to episode 2 of Champagne Problems. It's Friday. Here we are in episode 2. I'm getting ready to leave for the theater soon-ish. And I feel like the big theme for me this episode is going to be mental health, because I am always transparent with people online and in real life. If people, talk to me or ask me things at the stage door, I'm always transparent about mental health. I will always be open about it and what I'm going through. This day and the last couple days in particular have not been great. I've got a whole lot of going on in my brain. But I've always been a big believer that showing stuff like that is just as important as the fun, silly stuff. So last week was a fun, silly episode. We had some snacks. But I've been doing this, I've been doing theater for a while now. So I think it's important to also show those parts of it. I just my voice feels weird today. I feel like I have some parts in my range that feel kind of tough to sing through right now. This has been happening on and off for the past couple weeks. I might go to the ENT next week just to make sure everything is okay. But I've been warming up for 10 minutes at home, and I was warming up in the shower. And I really thought about calling out because now I have anxiety about this. But Dan Rosales is on for Nick tonight, and he and I haven't gotten to do the show together. We just talked about this the other day. He hasn't been on for Nick in a really long time, and we have so much fun together on and off stage. So I am going to make sure that I'm there tonight to do the show with him. But I also thought I would kind of take you through what's going on in my brain right now. Anyway, so I've been sitting here warming up. I feel like my break vocally is usually B, C range. That's where my chords today feel, it's my chords feel thick. I don't know what is going on. It's it feels really tough to sing through this part. That feels horrible. That feels horrible right now, Broadway.com. That D does not feel great either. That feels really. So now what's going through my brain? I have anxiety about what my voice is going to sound like in New Money. It's the third song in the show. This is my primer, by the way. If you'd like to know all the products I use. This is a Peter Thomas Roth no filter firming primer. Whatever, I got it on TikTok. So now what's going through my brain is that I have to do New Money. Quite a bit of the verses in that song sit kind of in this part of my voice that doesn't feel great right now. So now I have a little bit of anxiety about that. I'm worried that it's going to sound bad. I also, and maybe I should, someone control me for this if they would like to. I don't ever make vocal modifications in that song. I sing it the way we made it and the way it's was recorded. So now I'm thinking about the end of the song and all of that crazy high stuff that I am gonna do, and the dancing of it all at the same time, and making sure that I get to the theater and use my inhaler at the right time. So that it kicks in while I'm doing the number. But then I also think about stuff I know that in the world of the internet. Bootlegs are a very hot topic right now. And I immediately start to think about, oh, people in the audience might be recording this, secretly or not so secretly. And that will get posted on the internet. That will be on Instagram. That will be on TikTok. That will be on a Reddit page somewhere. People will exchange the bootleg for other things. And somewhere on the internet, people will hear me do this song tonight and they will say, well, that was bad. Why does she sound like that? How did she get this job? I like this person that does it better. And like all of that, those are very valid opinions. But that is immediately where my mind goes and then gives me even more anxiety. And then I also, which this is not something I should do, but then I also think about like all the people in my cast that I love so much. And I was this way when I was in 6 as well. Like, I don't think super highly of myself performing wise. I will always hype everybody else up and like be their biggest cheerleader. And for some reason, in this instance, when I'm not feeling great, you know, about how I might sound tonight, is that I think like, oh man, anybody that's not in that number and they're backstage, or like even the people on stage with me are gonna like hear me do this number and be like, oh, maybe she should have called out, or like whatever. And again, I was that way in 6 too. I was always like blown away by all of the girls, and I would watch them do, you know, I'd watch Adriana do No Way, and all of them, I'd watch everybody do their numbers and be like, oh my God, like I wish I could perform like that. Like I wish I was that powerful. I wish that I was like that much of a boss. And I'm getting better at this, but I'm just trying to be like, this is what the episode is this week. So I'm going to try and be kind to myself. I'm still going to vocalize a little bit. I really don't know what's going on here. I might be tired. It might be allergies. It might be, I don't know. Maybe just exhaustion. I've been doing this show for a year and a half now. So, anyway, this episode this week is going to be about this. Probably today and maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll go around to some people in the theater as well and ask them, you know, how do you deal with this mental health stuff? Because that's a question I get asked a lot too in Q&As or when I teach classes, like, how are you so confident? Or how do you get over, you know, the nervousness? Or how do you get over this thing or whatever? I'm here to tell you, it's really hard. It doesn't ever fully go away. But I always find it helpful when I hear from other people that might go through the same thing. Because, you know, it just makes you feel a little less alone. So I'm going to keep getting ready here. I'm going to sing a little bit. I'm going to take my dog outside and do everything I need to do. And then we'll head in and we'll see how the show goes. Fit check. Sometimes dressing in a cute outfit and doing my hair makes me feel better when I'm a little depressed. So here's the fit. My top is from Princess Polly. My shorts are from Princess Polly. My boots are from Amazon, my little cowboy boots. My jewelry is, some of it's vintage. Some of my rings are vintage. Now we're gonna go to the theater. Okay, we're at the theater now. And we're here with Kim.
Hi.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Kim Lennox, and I dress Daisy here at The Great Gatsby. So I am a dresser. I make sure people look good.
Kim, what do you do when you feel like you're not having a good mental health day? If you're feeling depressed or you have anxiety?
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you like to do?
I like to go on a walk. I feel like going on a walk really clears your head, breathing in like the air, and I'll call a friend. I'll call my parents just to like talk. And sometimes when I'm having anxiety, I like to sit down and think, what am I having this anxiety about? Is it something that's real? Or is it something that my brain is making up that doesn't exist? And then I look at myself in the mirror and I yell at myself.
All right.
And I say, this isn't real. Stop it. And like, stop doing this to yourself. It's not real. And then I try to take some calming breaths, some deep calming breaths in and out. and then just try to sit with it, and then go to the gym, work
Yeah.
out, move your body. It's just in your body. Get it out of your body.
Yeah.
And
Period.
get off of social media. I stay off of social media if I'm having bad anxiety because it only makes it worse.
Okay, it's crazy that you just said all those things about, like, what am I having this anxiety about? Did I make it up? Because when I was getting ready to come here, I recorded like 8 minutes of me, quite literally, and they'll have seen it, crying on camera,
Sam.
saying like, I have anxiety about this, I make this thing up in my head, I think that this thing's gonna happen and whatever. Even though I know that literally none of it is
not
probably
real.
true. But
Yeah.
maybe it is, and in that case, I don't want to know.
Yeah, in that case, you have to wait until it happens to deal with it. But like stressing
Yes.
yourself out over anxiety is literally just your brain like running faster than what life is doing. And a lot of times we can try to like
Yeah.
work it out, you know.
Period.
Sam, I'm so sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. The thing that I think is also difficult is I live by myself. I live alone, which I love. But like, as soon as I'm in this building, my mood shifts. I said to Michael Maliakel the other day backstage, I was like, you know what? Been a part of this show for a while. There are definitely times that I'm tired. But I laugh so much in this building. And, you know, I was home by myself all day. I didn't really do much. And I think for me personally, a lot of my anxiety just magnifies when I'm alone with my thoughts. I think a lot of people are that same way. So I am grateful that I'm able to come here and like be around friends and people that make me laugh and make me feel supported. So I already definitely feel my mood shifting. As for my voice, I don't know. So it's the next day. Made it through the show last night, and it was fine. You know, I get in my head and freak myself out, but I don't know if y'all are into astrology, but I use the CoStar app, and I look at your day at a glance every day. I love this app so much. If you don't have it and you're into astrology, download it. Because I find that I look at it and I'm like, oh, like what I'm about to read to you. So I opened this last night when I got home, and I was still feeling kind of sad. And this is what it says. Believe in yourself. Stop waiting for permission that's never coming. The opportunity in front of you is real. Your hesitation isn't wisdom, it's old wounds talking. Act like you belong there, because you do. I mean, they're not wrong. They're absolutely not wrong. So I thought I would share that. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys what just went through my brain on stage. We're doing a matinee right now. And I was just telling Dondi what went through my brain at the end of New Money. I was feeling great today. I warmed up this morning. I was actually feeling okay vocally. And in the front row today, there are a bunch of girls who are like just so excited to be at the show, which I love. That's the energy I need during a matinee. They knew the words, they knew the choreo to New Money. So exciting. I love to see that. And my pants got stuck underneath my foot during all of this end choreo, and I slipped a little bit. It kind of messed up my hip, and sometimes that makes me panic on stage, and then vocally it like manifests in my vocal quality, and I felt like I sounded awful at the end of the song. And so then what went through my brain when I left the stage was, oh, these girls are here. They were so excited to see this number, and then I sounded like garbage. Now I'm sure they're really disappointed that that's what I sounded like in person, which I know is probably not true, but that's what goes through my brain. I'm also thinking right now as I look in the mirror, when they posted new production photos of Aisha, I was in this costume in one of the photos, and someone commented, ugh, why did they choose this look for her? Why did they make her wear that headband? It looks awful. Like something crazy. Like, why are you saying that out loud? One, being quiet is free. all of this to say, this is in real time. I'm just showing you what happens in my brain sometimes as a performer. So I hope you liked it. Hey everyone. It is Sunday now. Just here to report. Yesterday, still, hard, tough mental health day for me. At some point in Act 2 of our second show yesterday, I had like a lot of anxiety and I felt like I was on the verge of a panic attack, and I am not good at that, like mid-show. I'm not always good at figuring out how to calm that down. And then especially like at the end of the show, I have like a very emotional moment. And so it's hard to like show just enough of that so it doesn't spiral out of control. But today, not feeling too bad. Sometimes we just have good days and bad days. My voice is still being very weird, which I don't think is helping. Is Kayla up here?
No, I think she went downstairs.
Oh. But what I was also going to say is Kayla Pecchione's last show is tomorrow. But what's exciting is that she is on for Daisy today. So she and I are getting to do one last Daisy Jordan together. And fun tidbit about Kayla and I is we have known each other for probably 13 years, which is crazy. And we did our first professional gig together, which was a production of Legally Blonde. It was a non-union production. She played Pilar. I played Elle. The theater did not want me to wear a wig, so I dyed my hair blonde. Kayla did not do Great Gatsby with us out at Paper Mill. She joined us for Broadway, and I was so excited. It's just crazy because, I often in this production in the last year and a half have had a lot of thoughts of like, I just think about us so long ago rehearsing in this horrible garage. And we've both just done so much since then, and we've come a really long way. And so today, during the show, when she was singing For Better, For Worse, right at the end, she sits down next to me on the sofa again, and I could feel the tears forming. I tried really hard. To keep it inside. I think I did okay. You can ask her. She'd probably say something different. I didn't like ugly cry. But we've just had a lot of like life experience. We've done a lot since we did that like first crazy thing that was like such a wild experience, and now here we are. And we've had like other like little moments too. 2022, the Tony Awards, like the cast of 6, we were like waiting in the stairwell at Radio City, like waiting in the stairwell to go. Paradise Square had just performed, and like we were in the stairwell and they had to go back up the stairs to change and then leave, and we just so briefly passed each other and like had another moment of like, look at us, this is crazy. So this is a special one today. I'm really glad that we're getting to do one more together, because moments like this are, I think, very special and important to remember. Okay, it's our day off. I just got home from a massage and I had actually a really nice, relaxing day. I know I said before I was doing like a lot of self-care stuff. I got my hair cut yesterday. Today I sat at the pool and read a book. And I talked to Mr. Noah Ricketts on the phone for a little while. That was nice. And then I just got home from getting a massage. And I feel like sometimes people don't think that actors necessarily need like all of the self-care stuff that we say we do. I promise you it's like not like a self-indulgent kind of thing where like, oh, I have to get this and then I have to go see this person, I have to see this other person. Doing 8 shows a week is absolutely no joke. Throwing our full body into something 8 times a week is tough. And the stress of like living in New York City really takes a toll on me sometimes. And, you know, I know earlier in the episode I talked a lot about mental health, and I feel like I was really holding on to a lot of things all week from like the day that I started filming again for this episode. And so I got to my massage today, and I forgot to take the camera with me, but I go to Oasis Day Spa. It's on 32nd and Park, and I go see someone named Stacy. I used to see her at Massage NB, and then she quit and got a new job, and I said, Stacy, I will follow you to the ends of the earth. And she happened to get a job at this other spa that I went to occasionally. So if you're in the city, you want someone to like, I fall asleep every time I see her. I fell asleep today, and when I woke up, I was like, has it been 2.5 hours? But she is so kind. She listens to like what you need. And especially in New York City, it can be hard to find like, you know, a hairdresser and a dentist and a doctor and like, you know, and so it's hard to find the people that you need. I would follow Stacy to the ends of the earth. And so I kind of told her before, you know, like, I feel like I've been really stressed the last week. I think my ribs shifted out last week and they're still, you know, not feeling great, but that's like working its way up the rest of my body into my neck, and that's like affecting my voice. So, you know, whatever you feel like would help that. You guys, when I tell you yesterday when I got my hair cut, I was having trouble phonating and just speaking. I'm home now, my voice is fine. And I also think it's important because we hold on to a lot without knowing sometimes. And especially if you're an actor in a show, sometimes you have to sing things or, you know, act in a scene or, you know, take on certain things that can also like manifest and do different things in your body. And if you don't have a way to release all of that, you can just hold on to it. And I had an 1.5-hour massage, and I think she released something at one point in my neck, and she was doing like a lot of massaging here, like towards the bottom of my throat, and like pushing things out to my, what is it called? My lymph nodes. Sorry, cut that. I will try to form a correct sentence. I think she released a lot that I was holding on to because she was doing a lot of stuff in my neck and near my throat, and she was kind of like massaging this area like right at the base here, whereas it's where I've been feeling a lot of like weird stuff, like trouble phonating, my lower register. She was doing a lot of movement here and then pushing things out to my lymph nodes, and then she was stretching. And at one point I just started crying. And we finished and I met her in the hall, and I was like, I'm so sorry I fell asleep, and I did, you know, like a couple like jerk movements or whatever. I didn't mean to, but I was like, I needed this so badly, and I think you really helped me release a lot of things I was holding on to for the last couple weeks. And I got emotional talking to her about it again. And she was so kind. She's like, oh, I love you so much. You know, I'm glad I could help you. And I'm telling you, man, it might sound like but I promise you it's not. I feel so much better. Self-care is important, and doing what you need for yourself is important. Don't ever apologize for doing what is best for you. So before I end this episode, I'm going to leave you with my co-star that I saved the other day that I think is a perfect way to cap off this episode and all the mental health stuff I've been talking about. And I think this is a really good one because I needed to see it when I read it the other day, and maybe somebody else will find it useful. Believe in yourself. You've succeeded before, but dismissed it as luck. The evidence is there. Your capabilities aren't imaginary. Stop questioning what others already see clearly. Your doubt is only the real obstacle. I'm going to read that again. Cut. Okay. So before I end this episode, I'm going to leave you just with another little tidbit from my co-star that I read and I saved. It helped me when I read it. And it was a good reminder for me. I'm telling you, download co-star. Somehow they always know. But this is what I read and I saved it. And I'm going to read it for you to finish off this episode. Maybe you'll find it helpful. Believe in yourself. You've succeeded before, but dismissed it as luck. I literally do that all the time. The evidence is there. Your capabilities aren't imaginary. Stop questioning what others already see clearly. Your doubt is the only real obstacle. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week. New money, young, rich, and wild, rebel, revive.